Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about some other concepts related to deadlock, that is deadlock detection and deadlock recovery. So let's proceed. So deadlock detection. As you know, something can be detected when it has already happened or occurred. That means we can detect the deadlock when the deadlock has already happened in the system. It means it is a condition which allows the deadlock to enter into the system. Then when the deadlock is there in the system, we use detection algorithms to detect the deadlock, that how the deadlock has occurred in the system, what are the different scenarios or consequences that may arise in the system because of the deadlock. And then we'll be discussing about the recovery schemes, that how we can recover from that deadlock in the system. So let's proceed. If there is a single instance of each resource type, then we have to maintain a wait for graph in which the nodes of the graph are the processes in the system, and Pi denotes Pj, which means Pi is waiting for Pj. That means a process Pi is waiting for the another process Pj to get its execution completed. Also periodically invoke an algorithm that searches for a cycle in the graph. If there is a cycle in the graph, that means it is a deadlock in the system. So an algorithm to detect a cycle in a graph requires an order of n raised to power 2 operations, where n is the number of vertices in the graph. That means if vertices in the graph are n, then the operations required to detect the deadlock in the system is n square. So this is the resource allocation graph and wait for graph corresponding related to the situation that we are discussing, in which the resources are allocated and requested by the different processes in the system, and wait for graph denotes that which process is waiting for the other process to complete. So in this you can see the process P2 is waiting for process P5, P3 and P4 to complete. P1 is waiting for process P2 to complete. P4 is waiting for process P1 to complete. P3 is waiting for process P4 to complete. So this is the wait for graph, which demonstrates the different processes which are waiting for each other for their turn to come for execution. And resource allocation graph denotes the allocation of resources in that system to different processes. So in this, if you are using the algorithm, that means there are multiple instances of a resource type, then we'll be using the algorithm to detect the deadlock in the system. And for that, there are various vectors that we are having in the system. First one is the available. It is a vector of length m, indicates the number of available resources of each type in the system. Then comes allocation. It is an uncrossed m matrix which defines the number of resources of each type currently allocated to each process. Then request variable, which is an uncrossed m matrix which indicates the current request of each process. If request ij is equal to k, then process is requesting k instances of a resource type r. Then comes detection algorithm. It is just as the banker's algorithm for detection of the deadlock. Just like we have used the banker's algorithm for avoidance of the deadlock, also we can use the banker's algorithm for detection purpose also. So it is based on the same concept. uh, in this we are using a detection algorithm which takes two variables vectors work and finish of length m and n respectively. Then we initialize work to available and uh, finish to false for I is equal to 1 to n, and if allocation is not equal to 0 then finish false, and if the allocation is equal to 0 then finish is equal to true. That means the particular process is completed if the finish is equal to true, and if the finish is equal to false then the particular process is waiting for the execution to complete. Then we find an index I for each process such that both finish is equal to false and request is less than equal to work. Because finish is false, that means process is not completed, so we choose that process which is not completed. Completed processes are not under consideration because they have already completed in the system. So we find finish is equal to false and request made by a particular process is less than the available resources in the system. And if no such I exists, then we'll go to step 4 where it tells all the processes are completed. And if the finish is false, then means the system is in deadlock state. So first we define the work and finish variables, then we find an index where finish is equal to false and request is less than work. Then we update the work variable with work plus allocation. Work is the available resources plus allocation is the resources freed by a particular process after execution complete. And then update finish to true from false. That means the process has completed, finished successfully. Then we again move to step 2 and we find another process for execution whose finish is false and request is less than work, and this process continues until all the processes are executed or completed in the system. But if the finish is equal to false for I is greater than 1 and less than n, that means finish is false for the processes uh, P1 to Pn, then the system is in deadlock state. So if finish is false for all the processes, then system is in deadlock state. Moreover, if finish is equal to false, then process I is deadlocked. That means the particular process that is under execution is deadlocked process. So this algorithm requires an order of m into n square operations to detect whether the system is in deadlocked state. So this is the example where 5 processes P0 through P4 are there, 3 resource types A, B and C, A with 7 instances, B with 2 instances and C with 6 instances at particular time T0. So we find a sequence P0, P2, P3, P1 and P4 that will result in finish is equal to true for all I in the system. So suppose if P2 requests an additional instance of type C, then what will happen? What will be the state of the system? Can the system reclaim resources held by the process P0 but insufficient resources to fulfill other processes requests? So there existed deadlock in the system consisting of the processes P1, P2, P3 and P4. So this is the detection algorithm uses, that when and how often to invoke depends upon how often a deadlock is likely to occur. That means the algorithm uses when and how do we use the algorithm. That depends upon what is the frequency of the deadlock to happen in the system. We will check that, and how many processes will need to be rolled back. That means we have to identify if a deadlock situation is there, then how many number of processes we need to roll back to get it into the safe state. One for each disjoint cycles. That means uh, at least we have to roll back one process for each cycle in the system. So as the number of, as many cycles are there in the system, as many processes we have to roll back. If detection algorithm is invoked arbitrarily, that means randomly, there may be many cycles in the resource graph. So cycles in the graph क्या हो सकती हैं, more than one, many cycles can be there, and so we would not be able to tell which of many deadlock processes caused the deadlock. So अगर साइकिल्स बहुत ज़्यादा होंगी तो उनके अंदर प्रोसेसेस भी क्या होंगी, बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएंगी, एंड हम ये आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाएंगे सिस्टम के अंदर कि इतनी सारी प्रोसेस के अंदर कौन सी ऐसी प्रोसेस है जिसकी वजह से एक्चुअली डेडलॉक की स्टेट अकर हुई है सिस्टम के अंदर, which needs to be protected. Then comes recovery of the system from deadlock. So there are two methods to recover from the deadlock. One is the process termination and another one is the resource termination or the resource preemption. So what about process termination tells that we have to abort, either we can abort all the deadlock processes in the system. First one method is to uh, terminate all the processes in the system. If all the processes will be terminated, the system will automatically recover from the deadlock. But this will cause a great loss to the system's performance as all the processes will be terminated. Maybe there are some processes which are near to completion and are not included in, not involved in the deadlock condition. So those processes will also be terminated. So that will cause a great loss to the system's performance. So another method we can use is to abort one process at a time until the deadlock cycle is eliminated. ठीक है, हम क्या करें, एक एक प्रोसेस को एलिमिनेट करना स्टार्ट करें, एक एक प्रोसेस को टर्मिनेट करना स्टार्ट करें सिस्टम में से, कब तक, जब तक कि जो डेडलॉक है वो ओवरकम ना हो जाए, डेडलॉक की जो रिकवरी है वो ना हो जाए. सो इन विच ऑर्डर शुड वी चूज टू अबॉर्ट. अब एक एक प्रोसेस को अगर हम अबॉर्ट कर रहे हैं तो कौन सी प्रोसेस को पहले अबॉर्ट करेंगे हम, दैट आल्सो नीड टू बी आइडेंटिफाइड. सो for that various criteria are there that we'll be using, and the first one is the priority of the process. The processes with low priority will be terminated first. How long process has computed and how much longer to completion, कि प्रोसेस कितनी कंप्लीट हो चुकी और कितनी कंप्लीट होनी रहती है. जो प्रोसेस ज़्यादा कंप्लीट हो चुकी उसको हम टर्मिनेट नहीं करेंगे, हम उस प्रोसेस को करेंगे जो अभी अभी स्टार्ट हुई है या थोड़ी बहुत एग्जीक्यूशन जिसका हुआ है. देन रिसोर्सेज द प्रोसेस हैज यूज्ड. देन वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई कि प्रोसेस ने कौन कौन से रिसोर्सेज जो है वो यूज कर रखे हैं. देन वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई रिसोर्सेज प्रोसेस नीड्स टू कंप्लीट. हमें ये आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा वो रिसोर्सेज जो उस प्रोसेस को आगे कंप्लीट होने के लिए चाहिए. देन वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई हाउ मेनी प्रोसेसेस विल नीड टू बी टर्मिनेटेड. हमें ये आइडेंटिफाई करना टोटल कितने नंबर ऑफ प्रोसेसेस हमें टर्मिनेट करने पड़ेंगे. भाई ऐसा तो नहीं कि सारी की सारी करनी पड़ेंगी, तो फिर हम क्या करें, एक साथ ही सभी को कर दें. व्हाई टू वेस्ट द रिसोर्सेज एंड टाइम. आल्सो वी हैव टू चेक इज प्रोसेस इंटरेक्टिव और बैच. हमें ये भी चेक करना पड़ेगा कि बैच प्रोसेस है या एक इंटरेक्टिव प्रोसेस है, and on the basis of that we will identify which processes from the system to be terminated to recover from the deadlock. Then another method to recover from the deadlock is resource preemption. कि हम क्या करते हैं, रिसोर्सेज को प्रीएम्प्ट करना स्टार्ट करते हैं वन बाय वन. So this is also a method. In this, we select a particular victim resource to preempt such that it leads to the minimum cost in the system. That means system's performance gets very less affected. Such resources need to be preempted. Also, we can roll back. That means it returns to some safe state and then restart the process for that state. कि हम प्रोसेस को क्या कर दें, रोल बैक कर दें एक सेफ स्टेट के ऊपर और फिर वहां से दोबारा हम उसको क्या कर दें, रिस्टार्ट करें. अनदर वन इज द स्टारवेशन. इन दिस starvation may also arise as same process may always be picked up as victim. कि भाई हर बार जब भी आप एज ए विक्टिम प्रोसेस जिसको हम टर्मिनेट करना है, प्रीएम्प्ट करना है, उसको आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं, तो स्टारवेशन की प्रॉब्लम भी आ सकती है कि हर बार एक ही प्रोसेस है वो बार बार टर्मिनेट हम करने लग रहे हैं, तो वो प्रोसेस तो कभी एग्जीक्यूट होगी नहीं. दैट कॉजेज द स्टारवेशन प्रॉब्लम. Also include the number of rollback in cost factor, because as the number of rollbacks will increase, the cost factor will also be increasing. So we have to take that factor also in consideration while preempting the resources or terminating the processes in the system. So this is all about the deadlock. It's we have studied thoroughly about deadlocks, its detection, its recovery, its avoidance, its prevention. All the aspects of the deadlock we have discussed in various videos. So if you find any problem in the concept of deadlock, you can contact me on my contact details. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.